Hi guys, follow me on Instagram to never ever miss any of my crazy updates. Hi guys and welcome to another vlog. I'm driving this. This is the Volkswagen Tiguan AllSpace. Yeah, Volkswagen Tiguan AllSpace. Straight away, let's open the engine bay. Hydraulic struts, of course. That is the TSI motor, and of course there is insulation as well. Meanwhile, the car might look similar to the regular Tiguan which was sold earlier, the 5-seater version. Yeah, the design is similar at the front. The lights are beautiful, very nice. Get the cornering function as well. LED lights, LED indicators. But unfortunately, the fog lights are not LEDs here. You get front parking sensors, chrome grille, large VW logo as well. And this is very much understated elegance without a doubt. Car looks really nice, especially in this orange color. From the front, definitely it's a very attractive looking car. The wheel size happens to be 235/55 18s, and you get front and rear discs. The wheels could have been a little bit more adventurous with probably diamond cut as well. Now there was black cladding earlier which is gone. You get this chrome line, and of course it's longer in terms of size because this is 215 mm longer overall length. Meanwhile, the wheelbase has increased by 110 mm because of course it has to accommodate the last row of seats. So it says 4Motion here. A lot of chrome bits all around. Indicators are placed on the outside rear view mirrors as well. There's something written there. And yeah, I think these are puddle lamps. No, they're not puddle lamps. They are actually puddle lamps. No, they're not puddle lamps. Anyways, you decide what it is. Request sensor is there on both the front doors for the keyless entry, of course. And you've got roof rails too. Chrome window line. Yes, you get the premium appeal here. In fact, you can see that chrome is running behind as well, which also looks pretty nice. And you get the black treatment lower down for obviously reducing the visual bulk. It's not black, it's kind of grey. And yeah, nice treatment all over the place. Rear parking sensors. There is the reverse parking camera of the vehicle. And unfortunately, the boot does not open when you put your hand into the VW logo, like is in the case of the Polo. How you can open the boot, that was so cool. That's gone. I don't know why. LED lights again look really beautiful. Even the indicators are LEDs. Tiguan AllSpace written right there. But you know what? The exhausts are fake. Yeah, fake AF exhausts. I don't know why brands are doing fake exhausts. Especially the Germans love fake exhausts for reasons best known to them. Coming to the rear, you see there is this shark fin antenna which is actually finished in piano black, and you get a rear spoiler as well, but it's kind of with the body. The side definitely looks a little bit ungainly because of the increased length. The regular Tiguan 5-seater looked better without a doubt, and you get this black cladding around the wheels, but that doesn't continue through the body of this car. I don't know why. Anyways, let's get to the boot now. It has got keyless, or rather remoteless or whatever, trunk opening. You come and stand somewhere there and it'll automatically open. The car is on, so it won't work right now, so I'll try and open it with the key. It won't happen because the car is turned on. What happens is basically it has obviously got an electric tailgate, and there it opens. Good thing about this car is the fact that flexibility is amazing. So the boot space which you're seeing is 230 liters. You can increase it to 700 liters. How? Well, that is how you increase it to 700 liters. You need to push that ahead. Yeah, there it is. The last row is down. Space has increased. Massive 700 liter boot with the last row down, of course. Now this button does not work. I don't know for what it is. It is actually technically so that the seats recline. It just doesn't work anyways. Meanwhile, below here, yeah, there is the parcel shelf, just in case you want to use that when you're using 5 seats. And the spare wheel, well, isn't an alloy for sure. It is actually a smaller size, 145/80 something. Let me just see that. Okay, how do we see that? We can't see that. Oh, can we? Yes, we can. 145/85 18s. Yeah, that is a small size tire. Space saver. Let's just close this. Assembling and disassembling stuff is crazy bit in this vehicle. Storage space on either side too. And there is a hook here. Yeah, there's a hook here. No hook on this side, which kind of misses out on symmetry. Okay, there are cup holders for the last row passengers, and there's storage space for your phone as well. But there is no air conditioning for the last row of passengers. Let's pull this back. There it slots into place. That's kind of easy. Okay, this one won't. Ah, yeah, there it is. So I was wondering, if I pull this, will it go down? No, it does not. So this thing is not working at the moment. Some bike went at real great pace. Anyways, press this button, and there the boot closes. So yeah, with the remote you can open the boot. By touching that button below the VW logo, you can open the boot. And of course, if you stand behind, you can open the boot. Multiple ways of opening the boot, multiple ways to become really lazy in life. Should we get to the third row of seats? I'm so sorry, it will not be possible for me because the third row is so difficult. But you have this lever, you can pull it. That is the space at the rear. Do you think a human being can sit there? I definitely can't go only. Accessing the last row of seats is very, very, very difficult indeed. Now, of course, you can increase or decrease the legroom. I'll tell you how. The seat reclines obviously, so you can put it like this and you can further recline it like that, which means that space can be quite decent here. So there is a button below somewhere. Yeah, there it is. And oh my god, sorry about that. I moved the seat because I need both my hands to move the seat. It is so heavy. It's not smooth at all. Here you go. Now you pushed it. So you can increase or decrease the legroom at the rear, but you know, at the cost of the last row of seats. But nobody cares about the last row of seats because there's not much space on offer. 3 adjustable headrests. In fact, this car has got 7 adjustable headrests, which is superb. And there's good amount of storage space as well. But the window area is super large. But there are no sun blinds at the rear, which is a grave omission. There's a tray here. Okay, let's just remove this for a moment. And oh my god, this doesn't even fly. So here we've got air conditioning controls for the rear passengers. There's a USB, there's a 12-volt charging socket as well, and of course there are rear AC vents too. But you see this hump, that's massive. So 3 people at the rear are not comfortable in spite of the fact that we get a headrest which is adjustable for the center passenger. 3 people just cannot sit here. But there is an armrest, just open it, with 2.5 cup holders. I don't know what 2.5 cup holders means, but hey, let's get inside. Let me tell you, look at the seats, okay? Seats are kind of on the firm side, but really nicely bolstered. Good amount of comfort on offer. And once inside, let me tell you, OMG, there's good amount of space on offer. There's good amount of knee room. There's good amount of leg room as well. Yeah, under thigh support is also pretty good. In fact, headroom is also very nice, which is so surprising considering that there is a panoramic roof, but still headroom is really good. So there's a hook, there's a handle. There's a handle on each side. Everyone has it, including the driver. Usually driver does not get it in terms of cars with side airbags. This car has 7 airbags. Yeah, that's right. 7 freaking airbags. Super comfortable at the rear. The armrest is a little on the higher side even when you push it down. So yeah, that could have been a little lower. But in terms of comfort, brilliant car. I love it. Okay, you have got a light placement here. And I don't know what this dummy button is, but you got a light placement there as well. It's a big thumbs up from me because it's very nice and spacious. Look at the dashboard. Dashboard design looks very understated. Again, a VW thing. Panoramic roof is massive, that's what she said. Doors are super duper awesome. Okay, you get this beautiful finish. I don't even know what to call it. You get this silver finish above that. The quality, the leather, everything inside the car, just super duper awesome. I love it. All black interior, so cool. And that panoramic roof is so massive. It brings in a lot of airy feeling inside the cabin. But I forgot to show you this. There's a tray here. Yeah, that's right, there's a tray. So you can keep your McDonald's right here and eat. Just kidding. This is actually so that you can work, but no, I'm not kidding, because it says bottle, which means you need to keep your bottle. Now in order to operate this tray, you need to press this button and move it up and down. But that tray is super cool because you can keep your laptop and work when you're going for a drive or to the office, chauffeur driven. This is so cool. This is so premium, this window line. Anyways, I don't usually get in from this side, but today I am. Why? I'll tell you what. First and foremost, the co-driver's seat is not electric adjust, and oh my god, this is so satisfying. Yeah, this is a brand new car. I got it at 68 kilometers is when I took delivery of this vehicle from VW, although I have to return it soon, but still, never mind. You see, the glove box is actually small, but there are 2 SD card slots along with a CD changer as well. And this seems to be a cooled glove box, probably. I don't think so. No, I can feel the air from somewhere. Okay, this is from the air conditioning, not really a cooled glove box. Now, why did I get here? Because there's a party trick here too. First and foremost, there's storage space here as well. And there is a hidden compartment right there. What is this hidden compartment all about? One second, what all? Oh my god, there are so many sauces here. Okay, I think Neha is doing a sauce business. She's recently started. What is there inside this? Because I have not driven the car since like 4 days. And I think all this stuff has been lying since 4 days. Doing what, God only knows. This seems like something which is edible. That is a pizza McPuff. Doesn't feel like new. It must be a little old. Never mind. Nobody will notice. Coming to the driver's side, now we're doing a long walk. Let me just finish my McPuff. So build quality is absolutely amazing. I love the build quality on the car. It's a VW, obviously. Build quality will be amazing without a doubt. It's a typical VW interior in terms of design language, which is actually a nice thing. Okay. Few things which need to be removed. How do I remove this? Door pockets at the front are also large enough. In fact, you see, this button opens the boot. So if I just pull it like this, there the boot opens. That is another way of opening the boot. This car has multitude ways of opening the boot. And if I want to close it, I have to go there and only close it. But power tailgate is such a cool feature. I absolutely love the power tailgate because it makes it so convenient. You see, parking sensors are extending all the way to the side as well. Super cool. Obviously, it's got front and rear parking sensors. This is to open the hood of the vehicle. And you know what? If the door is closed, this cannot be operated. There's a proper dead pedal right there. These are the controls for the headlights, front fogs, rear fogs. All of the controls are here. Electric adjust for the driver along with memory settings as well. Seats are so comfortable. Okay, I know they're on the firm side, a little bit on the firm side, but they offer good amount of support. And see the bolstering, the side bolsters are super awesome. These seats are just made for long drives. That is how comfortable these seats are. Absolutely love it. Let's get inside, and straight away let me tell you that there is so much understated elegance. Let's turn off the air conditioning. Now there's an issue when you turn off the air conditioning. I've turned it off. It's not turned off. You have to keep rotating it, then only it turns off. It doesn't turn off in one go. That's a bit of a bummer. This is for the hazard light. These are the controls for the power windows, and every window is obviously one touch up and down. This is a VW. In fact, if I press a key, all the windows roll down at one go. That's super cool. This is obviously for the outside rear view mirrors. The mirrors give you a nice view of what's around. In fact, the window area is so big, you can see a good view of what's around. This is obviously frameless, but an auto dimming inside rear view mirror as well. Dashboard design is nice, not much hard plastics. I mean, this is actually some amount of soft touch plastics as well, which is so cool and well done as well. But the storage spaces are massive. There's a storage space here. Who would have thought that? I never could have. Neha actually pressed this and this opened. I'm like, what? This is also there. So like storage spaces in almost every place in this car. I love the dashboard design. I love the fact that it's all black and not unnecessarily we've got beige and all, but we have beige. You see, upper side is beige, which gives an airy feeling to the cabin for sure. Now this treatment you see, it's beautiful, which I already showed you at the rear. Obviously height adjustable seat belts, and there's a hook here as well. Like I told you, it's got 7 airbags. There's of course a mirror along with a light. Again, very nicely done. Same is the case here as well. There's a mirror along with a light as well. And these are the buttons for, I think, SOS and for service and blah blah blah. Meanwhile, this is to open the sun blinds, and these are for the lights. Yeah, this one is for the lights, and this is for opening the sunroof. So let's open the sunroof. There you see, what a nice and big sunroof. In fact, this car feels so big, and that's actually a good thing because you just feel so airy inside the car. Someone is actually doing a run on a motorcycle. You can hear that sound, and you can extend it further by pressing button once again. Let's just shut it for the moment. Now, as you can see, the highlight here is the fact that it gets a virtual cockpit system. It's a digital display, very much Audi inspired, and you just press this button, view button, and you can change the display as well. So yeah, there are multiple modes for the display too. Very slick, very nice, lovely to use, and you can just get into various details here as well. So all the details you would ever need are there in the instrument cluster itself, right from range, blah blah blah. In fact, I can browse here on the top. I can get into consumption, vehicle status, telephone, audio, navigation, and you name it, everything is there. Assist system says nothing. Driving data also gives you a lot of information. It says vehicle inspection at 7,300 kilometers, because after I got this car, I have driven it for around 200-300 kilometers. So all this information and more right there, and obviously you've got the fuel meter here, you've got the temperature meter there, all the details. This is actually for the lane departure warning. Headlights are on, so that's also showing. Seatbelt is not put right now, that's also showing. Every detail is shown here, which is so coolly done. Now steering is obviously adjustable both for reach as well as rake, so you can just reach as well as rake. That is a good thing, but you know, maybe electric adjust would be really cool. The only problem is these buttons are a little confusing. Firstly, the steering reminds me of lesser VW cars like the Polo and the Vento, which is kind of disappointing. But you know what? These buttons are also a little confusing, because if I get a call, I can't press a button here. Obviously, it shows a call on the display, and then I can be like, okay, I want to pick up the call and all those things. This is to go to the next track. This is to go to the previous track. This is for voice commands. And obviously, these buttons are to browse through that multi-information display. It's a full digital unit. It's really nice. These are for the cruise control, and these are for the volume as well. Meanwhile, these are obviously for the indicator. Meanwhile, these are the controls for the wipers. You see, wipers work really well. A lot of spray on offer too. Yeah, the wipers are brilliant on this car. Now, there are plenty of things here in the center as well. Firstly, this is a sliding armrest. Yeah, that is right. It's a sliding armrest. And below the front center armrest, there's storage space as well. There's good amount of storage here. Now, below here as well, there's storage space. And you know what is the best thing? These are cup holders, which are so cool to use. If I press this button, look at this. They open like that. That is so cool. You know what I can do? I can just shut them. I can put them back into place. Yeah. And let's press this button. There they come out. Super cool. Super awesome. And here are plenty of buttons. This is obviously the beautiful gear lever of this vehicle. This button is for auto stop start. So I will obviously turn it off right now, otherwise the car will turn off. This is the electric parking brake. This is the auto hold function. Basically, when you come to a stop, you don't have to press the brakes. It will automatically halt. And once you get onto the accelerator, it will start moving ahead. Says forward motion, just in case you forget that. This is for the parking sensors as well as the reverse parking camera. So when I press this button, there you see. Yeah, that is the reverse parking camera along with front and rear parking sensors. Works brilliantly well. You get adaptive guidelines. What a beautiful camera. Absolutely love it. I think we need to just remove this from the screen because it's just spoiling the show. And yeah, I thought saying a warning, you're gonna remove the plastic from here. Screen is nice. It's an 8-inch touchscreen infotainment system. It's got Apple CarPlay, it's got mirror link, it's got Android Auto as well. very fluid to use. In fact, just look, okay, my hand is behind, you see the functions here, right? Now if I get it close, there it opens up. So it's got some sensor here which can sense if you're coming close, and accordingly it can open that as well. Now it's loaded with a ton of information. Navigation is not working because database is not available, but I can get into car and there are so many things to see here. The only problem I face here, that in order to turn off traction control, I have to go all the way inside and do it. It's obviously got ESC as well as ASR, which is just fancy words for traction control system. Now here is an interesting thing called instrument cluster. Okay, now I can get into settings and I can decide what is the view I want. So right now you see this is the classic view. I can decide if I want view 1 and what is the information I want to see on either side. You can see that is changing. So you can actually customize the full cluster. That is super cool. But right now I just want to get into selection and show you. Yeah, off-road display is giving you off-road information along with showing you your various angles too, which is super cool. But there's something known as Think Blue Trainer. This car really needs it, which is showing you what is the fuel consumption like. Since start, it's 4.5 kilometers per liter. Of course, I was driving in sports mode. So all that information and more, everything inside here, driving data, whatnot, you need it. Everything has been put here beautifully. Slick to use, but a little confusing at times. But I like it. I absolutely like the way the system works. Let's get into radio right away.
Hey, you've got to make it on your own, but we don't have to grow up. We can stay forever.
Audio quality is brilliant. It gets an 8-speaker audio system, and of course, it's top-notch. Now it gets a 3-zone climate control system, 2 for the front and 1 for the rear. This is the button for heated seats. I don't know why it has got heated seats. It's of no use in India, at least no use for me at all, because it just heats the seat. Only good to prank your friends. Otherwise, it's of no use. You should have got ventilated seats for sure. Of course, it's a German car, it's a CBU import. That's why they've put heated seats, because that's how it is spec'd abroad. No use here. These are the controls for the air conditioning, of course. And here below here you see there is storage space, 2 USB ports, 1 aux and 1 12-volt charging socket as well. So all the various options you would need, but there is no sunglass holder, which means I have to keep my sunglass right there. So as you can see, this car is loaded with a ton of features. In fact, there is a storage space here as well. So in terms of storage, there is no complaint whatsoever. This car is loaded with so much and more. But the coolest thing, which I honestly feel, is this button, which is obviously for the self park. What you're going to do is we're going to try and self park this car. I don't think it's going to work right now, considering the fact that, yeah, you need another car to actually decide where you want to put the car. So here we are into drive mode, and I've just put self park. They're showing me the display. I've put it right, and let's see if it's able to park itself. Handbrake down, start going ahead. There you see it's going to do self parking, which is a very cool feature. Now almost every brand has mastered this. It's not difficult at all. It just needs a reference. So this car was a reference for me to park, and there it's going to turn the steering and it's going to park itself. That is super cool indeed. Only thing is we're a little bit on the divider side of these things. That's it. Here we get into drive. There the steering turns again, and the car is parked as well. That was easy. Yeah, and it says park assist stop. In fact, this cluster is really very cool. I love it. You turn off the car, there it shows you data of the vehicle, and there you can see the Tiguan is coming, driving all the way. Now this is something which is very common with all other Skoda and Volkswagen cars, so nothing as such a big deal, but the paddle shifters are really small, so I have to show you from behind. Yeah, they could have been a little bigger in terms of size, so they would feel a lot better to operate as well. The horn is really nice. As soon as I open the door, well, it tells me exactly which door is open of the vehicle. Let's do one quick thing. Let me show you this cool feature of actually opening the windows using the key. Here we go. I press a button. Actually, I need to lock the car first. So the car is locked. Now I keep the button pressed, and there's, you see all the windows roll down. That's super cool. In fact, the sunroof also moves. Well, that's kind of weird. Let's just close it once again. Here we go. I'm going to close, pressing a button here, and there the sunroof also closes. So the sunroof doesn't open completely. It just opens like in an angle. But although this car is loaded with a lot of features, it just does not get connected car tech yet. And see the parking, well, it could have parked even better if I had not stopped it in the right time. This car obviously also gets ISOFIX child seat mounts and is rated 5-star NCAP without a doubt. That's something you don't even need to consider. This is a Volkswagen at the end of the day. We are going to try this feature where I come and stand behind. Okay, are you opening? Okay, I need to swipe here. Swiping, swiping, swiping. Open, open, open. Don't disappoint me in front of the camera. Yeah, now it is opening. Yeah, there you go. See, I didn't have the key. The key is in my pocket, and there the boot has opened. This smart swipe feature, or whatever you want to call it, is absolutely brilliant. I love it because at times you have a lot of luggage. What do? Well, you have to do that and more. Anyways, guys, it is time to start driving. So let's get going right away. Oh, 1 second, I forgot. I have to take the car. The car will come on its own. Don't worry about that. In the full Josh of running, I forgot to show you the drive mode selector. So this is actually the drive mode selector, the one in the center, and this is obviously for the terrain mode selector. So when I change it, well, there it is. There are 4 modes. There is snow, and there's the regular drive mode, which is for road conditions, and then there's of course off-road, and there happens to be off-road individual as well. Of course, this car is extremely capable, which means that all you have to do is press this button to actually get into the various modes for normal driving as well, which happens to be eco, normal, sport and individual. Meanwhile, there's another interesting bit here. If I turn on the indicators, you can see that the indicator placement is here as well. So someone who's next to you knows your intention of actually changing lanes. Meanwhile, when in the morning you actually open the car and get inside, this display here right in front of you shows you a very cool graphic, one of the best graphics I have actually seen, with the VW logo obviously coming. It has got automatic headlights. It should be having automatic wipers as well. There's tire pressure monitoring system. But the coolest feature, which I haven't spoken about yet, is this. Okay, I can just pull this ahead. That is super cool. How can I do that? Well, just check this out. I can just pull it ahead actually, and then I can push it back as well. This is the coolest way of actually adjusting the headrest. Again, just push it. Super cool, super awesome. What an amazing way to actually adjust your headrest. Meanwhile, this is actually getting driver assistance system as well. If you come really close to a car, well, it automatically applies brakes and it shows you a warning in red, which is a very cool safety feature indeed. The Tiguan also keeps giving you eco tips when you're in eco mode, like obviously you should not be driving in sport mode, you should come into normal drive mode, and if your windows are rolled down, it even tells you to roll up the windows just to save on fuel. Slight disappointing thing that the rear wiper has only one setting for speed. Meanwhile, the Creta actually gets two settings for the speed of the rear wiper. And on that unfortunate bit, let's start driving. Alright, we're all set to go, which means getting into drive mode, and we're going to take a U-turn straight away. Let me tell you that the car obviously feels super easy to drive somehow. In spite of weighing all of 1800 kgs, actually not all of 1800 kgs, it weighs around 1780 kgs. Yeah, 1780 kgs, almost 1800 kgs. That's a lot of weight. And this is the AllSpace, so it's obviously bigger in size when compared to the regular Tiguan, which is no longer on sale in India. And the reason is that they were like, okay, enough of offering diesel engines, so now we're going to offer a petrol. Right now we are in eco mode. Okay, with the drive mode selector, I am going to just press this button and get it into sport. There we are into sport. Gearbox is also in sport, actually automatically it came into sport. Yeah, can you check the air conditioning? I think I can feel some air. Is it off completely? Okay, it is off. All of a sudden when I got into sport mode, now I can feel there is immediate urgency somehow. All of a sudden it has somewhat of punch, like here we go. Yeah, that is the urgency I was talking about. But did you notice something? As soon as I got into the gas, there was some lag, and then it took off. You know, that lag is because there's some amount of lag lower down. But this engine, which produces 190 horsepower and 320 Newton meters of torque, is absolutely spritey. Now this happens to be a 2-liter TSI motor. It's a direct injection motor along with turbocharging, of course, and has good amount of grunt. The best thing about this car is the fact that the torque band is really very wide. It is so wide that 320 Newton meters of torque comes in at 1500 RPM and peaks at 4100 RPM. That's a really wide torque band. So now we're going to turn off traction control here. ESC Sport, no, not Sport, we're just going to turn it off. ASR off, left foot on the brake, right foot on the accelerator, revving the motor. Honestly, there is no effect of turning off traction control because obviously this car has got 4-wheel drive, so the traction levels are absolutely phenomenal, grip levels are surreal, and the motor really pulls in the mid-range. So there is some amount of low end lag, but in the mid-range it is very strong. It gives you a proper shove as well, and the top end is also very exciting indeed. Here we are, lower gear, give me lowest gear. Yeah, M3 obviously, because right now I got into manual mode by clicking on the paddle shifters. I can obviously get into Triptronic function here, manual mode, but the only issue with the manual mode here is that it doesn't give me complete manual control of things here. See, and it upshifts at 6000 RPM. So Redline comes in around 6000 RPM, which is quite early for a TSI motor, which is a little bit disappointing. Should have held on to the revs, actually should have held on to the revs for higher and not upshifted in manual mode at least. Grip levels are fab. You would never ever feel the lack of grip from this car. It's just so fantastic, and this motor is very refined lower down, gets a little vocal in the mid-range and very vocal in the top end. You can hear a lot, but it's very sporty in that sense. 0 to 100 kilometers per hour takes 8.6 seconds. The top speed, well, 200 kilometers per hour. So yes, it is got the punch to keep pulling and pulling and pulling and pulling. And this car does not have a speed alert system. Yeah, you see that? There is no speed alert system in this car, which is kind of awkward and weird. This is a CBO, of course, so I believe they get it here and they put it in. They forgot to put it in this car. Probably it was too early for it to be put in this car because it's a brand new unit which I got to drive. Anyways, here we are into sport mode again. There are actually 3 modes for the gearbox. That's right. So you can drive it in a regular D mode, you can drive it in the S mode, which you're driving in right now, and a little bit earlier we were driving in the M mode, which is the manual mode. Manual mode is namesake. It doesn't give you manual control of things. That's really sad. Here we are, 3rd gear. Actually, 2nd is the sweet spot. Here we are into 2nd gear and revving the motor. Hear it. It is sporty without a doubt. Smooth sounding, pretty fast. You know what? The diesel actually felt faster somehow. The diesel was a 2-liter TDI diesel unit, of course, produced 143 horsepower and 340 Newton meters of torque, which is 20 Newton meters more than this petrol, which is not much, honestly. This is a fab output number from this 2-liter petrol engine, but still the diesel felt faster somehow, in spite of the fact that it was 1.5 seconds slower from 0 to 100 kilometers per hour, taking around 10.2 seconds, and it was slower in in-gear acceleration as well, yet the diesel just felt faster. I'm telling you one thing, I've said this before, I'm going to say it again. Diesel is the way to go for SUVs. There is no two ways about it, because with petrol, you know, that lugging power somehow is not there. I mean, it's fast. I can't feel that space somehow because of the lag and because of, you know, you have to really pull it all the way to 6,000 RPM to make good progress, and ringing the motor time and again for added thrust kind of gets to you all the time, because you can't rev it so hard, especially in the city. You can't do that. Drivability is good in the city as well, but out on the highway, all you have to do is get onto the gas for a quick overtake and the car doesn't disappoint you at all. That's how brilliant this TSI engine is. The only problem is it has a bad drinking habit, and the drinking habit is so bad, it's so bad, I can't tell you in words how bad the drinking habit is, because the claimed ARAI mileage happens to be 10.87 kilometers per liter. The claimed mileage is so poor, you can understand what would be the real world mileage, around 6 to 7 kilometers per liter. Why is the claimed mileage so bad? Of course, it's a petrol engine, it's a heavy car, so obviously it's going to drink a lot of fuel. And the funny part is, the mileage is so poor that VW's own website does not state the fuel efficiency of this vehicle at all in any place whatsoever, because the fuel efficiency is that bad. They were like, okay, let's do one thing, let's not put it on our website at all. Now, of course, you know, I couldn't find it. Probably it might be hidden somewhere or the other. It should be there, but I simply could not find it at all. Now, the ride quality is typical of what you would see in European cars, which means that it is on the stiffer side. At lower speeds, you can feel that stiffness. At higher speeds, though, it is beautifully flat, and high speed stability is absolutely sensational. It's so sensational, it's so sensational, you can barely feel anything at high speeds. It tracks dead straight. Superb stability. Wow, what a machine. And the steering is very nice and easy to twirl. In fact, low speeds, no problem. It has weight. It's not like a Hyundai steering wheel, but it doesn't have the feedback or the feel at high speeds. So it does have the weight at high speeds, but just doesn't inspire you. Yeah, it just doesn't inspire you to push hard. Braking performance is really very good. Fantastic brakes on this vehicle, and of course superb grip as well. Now we are going to listen to the sound of the TSI motor, and here you can hear it. I can't hear a thing. That is the level of refinement. Only thing is, on the top end you can hear a lot, and we have just got a mosquito inside the vehicle, unfortunately, right away. Anyways, listen to the motor. Really nice and tracks beautifully too. That is the beauty of a TSI motor. It is so soothing, so smooth, so refined, yet punchy as well, and that's something you would definitely love about this car. So what does this drive mode actually alter? You press this mode button. There's an eco mode as well. There's a stop start system too, and obviously these are efforts to boost the fuel economy of this vehicle because it has a bad drinking habit. Now when I press this mode button, you see there's eco, there's normal, there's sport, and there's individual as well. Of course, it feels the best in sport. The steering also feels much better in sport mode, but it doesn't really, you know, inspire that confidence to push the car hard around corners. And the other issue, of course, is the fact that this is a heavier car, and when you compare to the Tiguan also, the regular Tiguan, it is a heavier car. It's larger. You don't feel that size as such because this is based on the MQB platform, so everything is well in check as such. But honestly, this isn't a car you would love taking around the corners hard and fast. It's more about soothing, relaxing. It's like a cruiser car. You can cruise at higher speeds without any issue because it does great in a straight line. Around the corners, body roll, yes, it is evidently there, in spite of the fact that the suspension is on the stiffer side, and that stiffness can be felt over bad roads at lower speeds. Only thing is it flattens out and becomes so much better over, yeah, at higher speeds. Actually, you could hear the rumbling on the rumblers. Anyways, we're going to launch this car once again, and in the wet, in the dry, it has no problem whatsoever. That is a level of grip on offer. Here we are revving the motor, and this 7-speed DSG, which is a dual clutch gearbox, is very fast with shifts. It's very eager, it's very refined, and makes a quick downshift when you need it. But there is a caveat here. The problem happens to be that this gearbox actually robs away half a second from 0 to 100 kilometers per hour because they've dialed in that lag lower down. So when you want to do a launch, now it just doesn't launch. It is very slow to take off from get-go, and that has been done to preserve the gearbox. Of course, I believe the DSG's notorious behavior of blowing up here and there. So this has happened in almost all the latest VW Audi cars, and yeah, except Porsche, which has launch control, which works beautifully. Even some of the sporty Audis have this launch control system, which works beautifully well on the vehicle. So as I can see it, this car doesn't make much sense now, does it? Because firstly, the driving position is low. You're not sitting high up. You don't get the SUV feel at all from this vehicle. That's a bummer. And the other fact is, it's like a middle ground between sedan and SUV. It's not like full-size SUV because it's based on a monocoque platform. It just feels so much easier to drive, and definitely doesn't scare you silly. The body roll is well contained when you compare it to, say, the Endeavour and the Fortuner, which obviously roll around a lot more. So in that sense, definitely the Tiguan AllSpace has a lot of appeal because it's an easier SUV to drive. Launch control. There is launch control in this car. And now I can see why it launches so much better in launch control. But if you don't hit the launch control, the DSG lag is going to greet you and be like, hey, what's up, man? So that is a great thing that they have put launch control in this car. In fact, every car should come with launch control. It tracks so beautifully. The high-speed stability is phenomenal. It's absolutely stunning how it behaves at high speeds. Look at this. Okay, bad roads. Yeah, at high speeds, it takes it in its stride because there's no vertical movement because of the stiffer suspension. And the suspension really behaves well out on the highway. It's only on bad roads at lower speeds you can feel the stiffness, and there is a lot of stiffness because of the typical European suspension setup, because this happens to be a CBU 2,500 unit rule. That's what brings it here. The DSG box does a fab job in shifting gears. It is so urgent. It realizes, you know what, we have to do it. It's done in no time. Just see the way it performs, especially when you have the launch program activated. Stunning, absolutely stunning. I love the fact that it is so responsive as well to gear shifts, and especially the sound in sport mode is really nice as long as you can hear it, because around mid-range you can hear it, but it gets more vocal and louder and sportier as well, which is actually a very good thing without a doubt. So in the wet also you can see the acceleration is brisk, and even with this turned off right now you can't feel anything. This matlab traction control obviously turned off, you can't feel anything. That is the level of grip on offer from this four-wheel drive system, which obviously is more front biased. As soon as the launch program is activated, which is obviously left foot on the brake, right foot on the accelerator, and here we go, it gives you the beans. It is very responsive in that sense, which is beautiful. Now, it's also a capable car off the road. It's got off-road modes. It's got multiple off-road modes, which I was obviously explaining to you while doing the walk around the car. But what does it actually alter? Well, it obviously alters the engine, it alters the steering, it alters the electronics, and also it alters the all-wheel drive system, channeling power to which wheel needs it more, and behaves very nicely. But the elephant in the room is of course the price of this car, which happens to be rupees 42.5 lakhs. Yeah, 42.5 lakhs, making it 2 lakhs more expensive than the Tiguan. But this is the AllSpace, so yes, you're paying for the AllSpace. But then technically it shouldn't be that expensive because this gets a petrol or diesel engine, is obviously more expensive. Diesel engine is gone, and which makes me wonder that why should you buy this car? Because this is not a 7-seater. VW might call it a 7-seater and put 7 seats in it, but the last row is just useless. It's not for human beings. At least I have not met such humans who could fit there comfortably. So let's just rule that out, make it a 5-seater. So this is a 5-seater at best. And why are you calling it a 7-seater? Now, of course, it has the added practicality and the flexibility of seating 2 more people who you don't like at all in the last row, like Neha would definitely find her place there. But then this is a 5-seater soft roader, sort of an SUV. Yes, I know it's SUVW, and yeah, that's a bit which is lacking in the design of the car. Also is not the best in terms of SUV appeal, is lacking. It's not bold, it's not masculine. But you put all that aside for a moment and look at it as a 5-seater comfortable practical car, which is not full-size SUV yet not having the gremlins of a sedan. Then you realize that this car actually offers a lot, especially the fact that performance is obviously good enough when you get onto the gas, and the engine has a drinking habit. But if you're going to buy a car worth rupees 42 lakhs, I'm sure you can fill fuel in it as well. But more than that, what I firmly believe is that this is a very solid car, great build quality, excellent feel factor inside the vehicle, and of course loaded to the brim with a ton of features as well. Little stiff, yeah, not the most comfortable, not a driver oriented car, but a highway muncher. It loves to gobble on the kilometers, which again is a great thing. And the price which I was telling you is an introductory pricing, which means that the price will further rise, which I simply don't understand. But then VW dealers are also going to tell you, like, you know what, we are out of stock because limited numbers have come here. A diesel would have really made a lot of sense. A petrol doesn't make much sense in an SUV. I simply don't understand the fact why SUVs are being offered in petrol engines, and that is one of the drawbacks of this car. If this was a diesel, trust me, it would have sold in a lot more numbers. And of course, the other elephant in the room is VW's maintenance cost. And how do you factor that in? Well, VW really wants to build confidence. That's why they're offering a 4 years, 1 lakh kilometer warranty, which can be extended up to 7 years. They also have 4 years roadside assistance, and that roadside assistance is so good, and the confidence level from VW is so great that they are like, you know what, if your car breaks down, we will send you a complimentary vehicle, and we will also pay for your hotel stay, all courtesy in case the car breaks down. That is the level of confidence they have that the car is not going to break down. And of course, the VW, it's well built, it's excellent in terms of quality, feel good factor, features are loaded in this vehicle. Only thing is little complex, like why would you put traction control in a touchscreen system? I don't understand. It takes me half an hour to turn off traction control when I want to spin the wheels and show everyone, look, I'm so cool. That coolness is gone because everyone has left already, and I'm still wondering where the frick is the traction control switch. Yeah, of course, nobody really cares about it. Who's going to buy this car about turning off traction control? Because even when you turn off traction control, it doesn't spin its wheels. That's a little disappointing. Steering, like I told you, yeah, it reminds you of the Polo and the Vento, so that exclusivity bit is a bit lacking as well. But get into the top end, and the thrust is really nice. And I was talking about VW's sales and service package. Actually, after sales package, there's also 3 years warranty. They're giving you complimentary 3 years. Sorry, 3 years free service. That's right. Sorry, what am I talking? How can there be 3 years free service? I would drive this car like an Uber then. This is 3 free services on this vehicle, which again is a bit of an ambiguity, because the first service is known as Swagat. Second service is known as, I don't remember what it was, but something like inspection, yeah. So in that, what they're going to do, first service, they'll come and you will meet the VW service guys, and you will hello, hi, and all those things, so that you guys get to know each other. Sounds more like Tinder, less like service. Second is, of course, 7,500 kilometers, which is again, yeah, it's just a checkup. They're not really doing any changes to your car. And the third service happens to be at 15,000 kilometers, which is the actual service interval of a VW car, wherein they will obviously change the engine oil and all those things, where you will not be charged for labor, but obviously you have to pay for the consumables as well. So guys, as I see it, this car doesn't appeal to a wide range of audience, but definitely appeals to those who want something which is absolutely solid and yet easy to drive without having the whole body roll feel which traditional SUVs like the Fortuner offer, because body roll is so much better contained in this car. Only thing is, you catch an expansion joint, it will rattle you to the bone. That is the level of thuds and thunks which happen through this vehicle. And on that bombshell, it's time to end. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you like it, you know what you do. Give it a thumbs up. That's a like button, and also subscribe to the channel. I will see you guys in the next video real soon. Neha, how did you like the car?
Nice.
Really? Does it remind you of your Skoda?
No.
You sat in the car and you're like, it's so Skoda-ish.
Yeah, because of the SOS and all this thing, it's been so nice.
A Skoda car has to have an SOS, right?
Obviously.
What is the full form of SOS?
Something with emergency.
Save our super. SOS means that. And look at that Range Rover, OMG.
उधर दिखाओ ना, कैमरा इधर क्यों है यार? उधर दिखाओ.
Now they can see now because it's on the side. Yeah, that Range Rover is so freaking cool.
Yeah.
Guys, keep this. What you're saying, you want to turn on the AC, but first tell everybody it has a 60-liter fuel tank, which I forgot to say.
So this has got 60 liter of fuel tank.
Now since you have said it, you have to fill the fuel in the car because it's empty right now.
चला कौन रहा है?
Doesn't mean मैं चलाऊं तो मैं डालूं, तुम्हें डालना पड़ेगा. And you know what? It has also something known as lane departure warning, so it pulls you back into a lane which system continuously keeps pulling you. Say that. The mic is on your side. People will not be able to hear me.
अरे हाँ से बोलो. The camera is pointing towards me. बोलो.
Just say that it's got lane departure warning, and it has also got, what was the other thing which I was saying? Lane departure and what?
That pulls you back in your lane. Something like this you were telling me.
I was talking about lane departure warning, which obviously pulls you back into the lane, and the second one was
60 liters of tank.
60 liters of tank, no fuel tank.
Fuel tank.
Yes.
Tank तो वही होता है यार. ये क्या हो रहा है यार? Can you hold this? This looks so weird.
Just say. And on that disappointment, it's time to end. Bye-bye.
And on that disappointment, it's time to say bye-bye.